Hello, hello, check. Two friends once met on a college campus tour. One of them was visiting, trying to see if he even wanted to be in this college, and the other had been randomly assigned to show him around. They spent the entire day together, and by the end of the day, they agreed to keep in touch and maybe even work on something together. That tour guide was Sergey Brin, and the visitor, Larry Page. That chance meeting eventually led to the creation of Google. Now think about that for a second. If Brin had been sick that day, or if the tour assignment had been different, or if Larry Page had decided to visit the day before or the day later, none of it would have happened. No Google, no search engine that we all use a dozen times a day. A $4 trillion company exists because someone in the admin office put two random names together on the same list. Here's what makes luck so powerful. You could call it chance, coincidence, or even destiny, but the truth is, these are all just synonyms for luck. And the best thing about luck is that you can never see it coming. It could be a random thing that happens on a random day, a random tour assignment, or a conversation that you had with someone. Only years later, sometimes after a lot of introspection, do you realize that that was the day when everything changed. A very powerful thing about luck is how even very small accidents, given enough time, could snowball into something huge. Researchers studied over 6,000 professional hockey players, every single person who has ever played in the National Hockey League. What they found was that players born in January were over twice as likely to make it to the team as compared to those born in December. In the junior leagues, this effect was even more dramatic. Those born in the first quarter of the year were over 3 times as likely to make it to the junior league. Now, the reason for this disparity is simply because the cutoff date for youth hockey leagues is the 1st of January. So consider this, 2 kids, one born early in January and the other born late in December, but both are born in the same year. Hence, they would be in the same age category. The one born in January would be about 11 months older than the one born in December, which for 5 or 6-year-olds is a huge difference. So the earlier born would be a little bigger and faster, and hence would get noticed by the coaches early on. This allows them to get more training and more time on the ice. Now, this difference should shrink to nothing within a few years. However, it does not, because the same students who get more training also get more opportunities. So as the years pass, this small difference in skill compounds year after year. By the time these kids are in their late teens, the ones who were born in January would have gotten so much more training and hence would be much more skillful. It's possible that the ones born in December never got this extra training in the first place and ended up giving up on their career altogether. This is a very real phenomenon called the relative age effect. It has been observed in numerous sports, especially those where talent shown at a young age often results in getting selected for the big teams. Now, we've seen what luck is about, but there's more to luck. Consider this. Students, luck shapes our lives much more than we'd like to admit. Now, if you are a little unhappy with this, that's totally valid. Most of us would not want to attribute our success to something external like luck, especially if we have worked so hard for it. When I look at my own life so far, I see similar moments too. It happened most notably in high school, when I gave my first TEDx talk. I was lucky that my school had been one of 5 schools in the entire city to host TEDx events. Similarly, our college, NIT Warangal, hosting TEDx events after so many years. For it to be happening while I am in college and while I have just enough time to spare for this is literally the perfect chance and the perfect opportunity come together for me. Now, here's where things get interesting. Let's revisit the story of Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Sure, they met because of a random college assignment, but why were they even together in the first place? And the reason for it is that they had both gotten into Stanford University's computer science PhD program, one in top 3 in the world at the time. To them, the luck was not whether they would ever meet someone brilliant, rather it was just a matter of when and which person. Coming to my own story of giving a TED Talk in high school, yes, I was indeed lucky that my school hosted TEDx Talks. But the thing was, my school did not roll out an application form for it. What they did was they approached a select few students who they believed were capable of giving a powerful TED Talk. I was a house captain in my school at the time. Hence, I was one such student approached. That is how I got the opportunity. And this is the thing about luck. Those who have worked themselves into competitive environments often find themselves luckier when it comes to getting more opportunities. We can't engineer all of our luck, but we definitely can engineer some of it. Now, consider this story. Bill Gates and Paul Allen met in Lakeside Private School, a private prep school. They loved computers and they spent hours programming. Eventually, they went on to found Microsoft. But did you know that in 1968, when Gates first touched a computer for the first time, there were maybe 10 schools in the entirety of America that had access to computers? Lakeside Private School was an elite prep school. Gates and Allen were both born to parents who could afford to send them to such elite private schools. They didn't earn that opportunity, they were born into it. So this is the thing about luck. There's some luck that we simply cannot engineer. You're either born into it or you're not. Now, I want to narrate a story, a fictional incident, and I want you all to think about how much effect luck had on the outcome. Here's how the story goes. A student spends months preparing for a job interview at his dream company. 30 minutes before the interview, he overhears his peers talk about the CEO's new vision for the company's future. The student takes the time to go through an article about it. In the interview, the interviewer asks, "What do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years?" The student, having rehearsed an answer to the same question, gives an apt response. Many hours later, the student finds out that he did indeed get the job. Now, here's what I want you all to do. Think about the effect that luck had on the outcome. I want you to rate it as important or just a little bit or no impact at all. Take a moment to think about it. All right. How many of you all think luck played an important role in influencing the outcome? By show of hands. How many of you all think luck played a small role in the outcome? And how many of you all think luck played absolutely no role at all? That was a little surprising, but okay. I hope you see it for yourselves now. The very same incident is interpreted and understood differently by all of us. And the reason for that is that our understanding of what luck means to us is based off of our perspectives. So, which one of you is right? Well, all of you are right. And that's exactly the problem with luck. Luck is basically just a bunch of random events that happen in a particular sequence, which we then classify as being good luck or bad luck. Our understanding of luck can be categorized into two. There's the kind that we can influence through our decisions, such as being in the right rooms, being around the right people, and being ready for the right opportunities. Then there's the kind which is absolutely out of our control. Where we are born, what privileges we inherit, and what opportunities simply land in our laps. This leads me to the luck paradox, the title of my talk. In order to maximize your luck and your chances of success, you must simultaneously hold two contradicting truths together. One, that luck does indeed play a huge role in affecting your life so far. And two, and this is the contradicting part, pretend as if luck plays absolutely no role in your future. Consider this. Two students, one born to privileged parents and the other born to parents who are not privileged. One grows up in a place with a lot of financial support and a lot of help from the community. The other does not. 10 years down the line, how will their lives look like? Even if the two students were born with the same amount of talent and curiosity, their lives would look completely different. So what if we were to look at one person and say, well, this person is successful because of all of the hard work and talent that he's put in. We're forgetting about the fact that the other person never even was a part of the race. Now, what about the question of hard work and talent? Does hard work and talent supersede luck? I can give you two reasons as to why it does not. Firstly, this is simply not true for those who are born into unprivileged backgrounds. Someone who is born in the wrong place or the wrong time would simply not have access to the same opportunities. Secondly, if you were to believe that you are in complete control of your luck, if you believe that only merit leads to success, well, that could make you ungrateful and unappreciative. You may start looking down on those who weren't able to become successful and think that it is because of a lack of effort from their part. You could become arrogant when the truth is just so much more complicated. So, summarizing everything we know about luck. Each one of you present here in this auditorium needs to understand one thing, that we have all had our own share of good luck and good opportunities and good education. Therefore, this results in a moral responsibility on our part, a responsibility to acknowledge the fact that our success is not ours alone, a responsibility to extend a hand to those who weren't able to catch a lucky break. And you can do this in so many ways. You could help mentor someone who wasn't as successful or as privileged as you, or you could share resources to someone or an opportunity instead of just keeping it to yourself. If you've benefited from a society which you did not help create, the least that you could do is return something back to the society, help make it bigger so that it can help others. Now, one final thing that I want you all to take away from my talk. It's a question that I want you all to think about, but not answer yet. What are you doing with the privilege of your past luck? Whatever luck that may have been, fair or unfair, earned or unearned, what are you doing with it right now? This question gives you both power and humility. It acknowledges the fact that the butterfly effect has paved your way so far in life, and the fact that the future set out for you is completely in your hands. Chance may have brought you here, but your choices will decide what happens in your future. Thank you.